Hello and welcome to Class 2309 Cost Accounting. My name is Patrick Nguyen and I'll be your instructor through this interesting but sometimes difficult course. I'm glad to have all of you here as I help you through your academic journey in accounting. A little bit about me. My accounting journey began in 2007 when I received my bachelor's and master's degrees from the University of St. Thomas in Houston. Since that time, I've continued studying and earning other certificates, such as my CPA certificate, which I earned in 2009. I also studied for and received my Certified Financial Planner license, my CFP license in 2012. I also got my PFS, which is the Personal Financial Specialist designation offered by the AICPA for CPAs who have shown a certain level of competence in the areas of personal finance and financial management. And I also have my Chartered Global Management Accountant designation. I started teaching at San Jacinto College in 2014. When I was hired in 2014, I thought to myself, I'll teach any accounting class that they give me, any tax, accounting, payroll, whatever they want to give me. The only classes that I didn't want were intermediate accounting 1 or 2. But when they hired me in 2014, that's exactly what they gave me. So I started teaching intermediate 1 and 2 in person at San Jac in 2014. And then a few years later, they had me teaching cost accounting in person. And then they transitioned me to online teaching. So I've been doing that for the past several years. I taught Excel one semester, and also I've been teaching this cost accounting class online for several years. In 2007, when I graduated from college, I started my career as an auditor with the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts. And that's a Texas agency that handles Texas taxes, taxes such as sales tax, franchise tax, hotel tax, mixed beverage tax. So I've audited quite a variety of businesses and services throughout my time at the Texas Comptroller. And then in 2010, I was hired by the Internal Revenue Service in their SBSE division. I performed audits of 1040s, which are personal returns. I also audited 1120s, C corporations, 1120S, S corporations, and 965s, which are partnership returns. I've also done quite a few employment tax audits as well. And then in 2016, I transferred to the TEGE division in employee plans. So I've been auditing plans such as 401ks, profit sharing plans, money purchase plans, pension plans, defined benefit plans, cash balance plans. Basically, I look to make sure that everyone's plan documents are up to date. As you know, tax law changes on a yearly basis almost. So we need to make sure that these plan documents are up to date with the most current tax law. And I also check to make sure that everybody who qualifies for the plan was offered participation in the plan, and that people who aren't qualified to be in the plan are not in the plan. So it's good work. We help employees make sure that they receive the benefits that they deserve. I also perform work with Lumina Datamatics, and this is a company that is hired by publishers such as Wiley and McGraw-Hill. These publishers have accounting and tax exam materials, exam prep materials, educational materials, and sometimes a student will find a mistake in the materials. When that happens, the students contact the publisher contacts Lumina, and then Lumina will contact someone like me to review the materials and verify whether there is a mistake. And if there is, then I'll give my professional opinion on how to fix those errors. On the screen is my contact information. The best way to contact me is at my Sanjak email, patrickguin@sjcd.edu. Listed also is my personal email, but I do prefer that you contact me through my Sanjak email, unless there's a situation like maybe the Sanjak server is down. Then you can contact me at my personal email. But I do check my Sanjak email more diligently since that's how students mostly contact me. So if you need a response quickly, the best method is to use my Sanjak email. Also listed on the slide are some email etiquette tips. Now, a lot of emails that I get from students are pretty professional, but some of them need a little bit of work. So I've received countless emails throughout the years that the person doesn't even say their name or give a greeting. They just ask their question. They just say, "How do I work this problem?" Or they say, "I can't I'm out of town. I can't turn in this assignment on time," something to that effect. And sometimes I don't even know what class the student is in, because often I teach multiple classes, multiple sections. So it always helps to start an email conversation with a greeting, like hi or hello. And it's not only when you speak to a professor, it's also when you're contacting your boss or your manager or anybody who has some sort of authority over you. It's good to open with a greeting. Also, give information about what class you're in and what section number. I've also listed the link to an Entrepreneur article entitled "The Do's and Don'ts of Email Etiquette." And that article is a good one. It gives several more tips on how to create professional email. The structure of the course, we're going to cover a new chapter every week. After we cover a few chapters, we're going to have a test over those chapters. So for the first week, we're going to cover chapter 1. Second week, we're going to cover chapter 2. Third week is chapter 3. And then on the fourth week, we're going to have test number 1, which covers those first 3 chapters. After that, the next week, we're going to cover chapter 4, then 5, then another test. Then we're going to cover chapters 6, 7, 8, and then test number 3. And then finally, we're going to cover chapters 9 and 10, and then take the final exam. The final exam is not going to be cumulative. The final exam is just going to cover those last couple of chapters. The homework assignments are going to be due every week. They're going to have unlimited attempts. So what that means is you can miss as many questions as you need to miss until you understand the topic. Keep working those questions until you get it right. The only way to not make 100 on the homework is to either not do the homework or to turn it in late. I know that all of us are busy. I myself have 3 kids and 3 jobs, so I understand how hectic life can be. But I would ask that all of you try to find time the next couple of years for your accounting educational career. Make it a priority and get through your classes and get your degree, and you'll be better off for it. Another piece of advice is to work the homework before watching the lectures. There's going to be a lecture video for every week for every chapter. Some students will watch the lecture and then work the homework. Other students will do the homework first and then watch the lecture. I've found over the years that the students that work the homework first and then watch the lecture actually perform a lot better. Watching the lecture after doing the homework seems to be the best way to go. When you watch the lecture, I work out the problems, and oftentimes when I'm working out the problems and the students are following along, the problem seems easy. But when they try to work on the problem on their own, they realize, well, wait a minute, I guess I don't quite understand this part or that part. So it's good to make the attempt at first on your own and then watch the lecture. Other tips, I would suggest to study a little bit every day, maybe an hour a day if you need to, maybe even more. If you're studying every day, you're not going to have to cram. And when you don't have to cram, you learn the subject a lot better. If you don't study until the day before an exam, or if you're rushing to turn in homework right before it's due, then you're not going to absorb the material very well. But if you study every day, a little bit every day, you're touching that same problem or that same topic multiple times, then you're going to absorb the material a lot better. So maybe on day one of week one, you can read the chapter. On day two, attempt the homework. On day three, watch the lecture. Day four, work on the homework again. Day five, review anything that you need to review, and so on and so forth. And then you're going to find yourself understanding the topics a lot better. This material can be difficult, like I said, and some people can learn this material pretty quickly, and some people take quite a long time to learn the material. When I was going through college, some of my classes were easy for me and some were hard. I remember for my business law class, I had to study 3 or 4 hours every night for that class. We were assigned cases to read every day, and we had to discuss them in class the next day. So it was a pretty intensive class. Not all classes are like that, and I don't think this class is that intensive, but you do need to put in the work to understand the topics covered in this course. Another piece of advice is to find a study buddy. I myself probably wouldn't have made it through my bachelor's or master's degree without a study buddy. I found one that was taking the same classes that I was taking, and after class every day, we would study for a couple of hours. Anything that I didn't understand, sometimes my study buddy understood it better and could explain it in their own words better to me, and vice versa. I would understand some topics better than my buddy, and then explain it to my buddy, and we both learn from each other. So it's really good to have a study buddy. They can serve as another teacher, like a tutor, and they also keep us in. The next tip, as we discussed, is to work the problems before watching the lecture, and also to work and rework the homework problems over and over again. Sometimes you might work a problem and get it right and understand it, and then a couple of days later, after you've slept and after you've looked at materials for other classes, you come back to that same question and you don't get it right. And the reason why is because some of this material takes some time to absorb. So you might have to look at a problem or a topic multiple times before you truly understand it. So work and rework your homework problems as many times as you need to. Also, all homework and assignments and tests are going to be through the McGraw-Hill Connect website. So you'll need to register through that website. When you register for the Connect website, make sure to use your Sanjak email for registration. The reason why is that Connect will be integrated with Blackboard, and so your grades from Connect will automatically transmit to Blackboard. Sometimes there are issues if Connect uses a different email address from your Blackboard, and your Blackboard always uses your Sanjak email, from what I understand. So again, when you register for Connect, please register using your Sanjak email.